Have you ever stopped to think about how your view of time changes over the years? What once seemed eternal now seems scarce. But what if I told you that this new look can transform your life in a way you never imagined? Stay with me and discover how aging can be a great opportunity to live with more wisdom and happiness. As we age, the way we see time changes greatly. When we are younger, time seems eternal. We think we have a whole life ahead of us to make our dreams come true, travel, learn new skills, or even change the course of our history. We think that the future is there, very close, as if it were a long and endless road full of opportunities waiting for us. However, when we reach 70 years of age, the perception of time is transformed. What once seemed like a distant future now becomes something that is closer, more real. Many of us begin to realize that we don't have the same amount of time ahead of us as we did when we were younger. This understanding that time is limited can cause some discomfort, but it is also a source of motivation. We know that the remaining time is precious, and it makes us think more about what really matters in life. This change in perception of time leads to a greater appreciation of the now. Instead of thinking about great deeds or achievements, we start to focus more on the present, on the little things that bring us happiness on a daily basis. For many, this means enjoying breakfast in peace, listening to good music, reading an interesting book, or simply enjoying a leisurely walk. The urgency to do everything turns into a need to live well, with tranquility, with whom and in what is really worthwhile. The perception of time also makes us revisit the past in a more conscious way. We remember the experiences we had, the mistakes we made, and the successes that brought us here. It is not about regretting what we have not done, but about celebrating what we have been able to accomplish so far, with the serenity of those who understand that each stage has its time and its purpose. And in the end, what really matters is the feeling that we live fully, enjoying the moments with those we love and taking care of ourselves. Have you noticed that as we age, the quality of our relationships becomes more important than quantity? But do you know exactly how to choose the friendships that will really add you and bring you peace? Keep watching, because the secret to healthier relationships may be simpler than you think. When we are younger, many of our choices and priorities are influenced by external pressures. Social life, friends, career, society's expectations, and even the need for recognition guide us in many decisions. This means that we often get involved in situations and relationships that often do not reflect what really matters for our happiness. However, at the age of 70, priorities begin to change very significantly. We realize that the time we have is limited, and this makes us rethink where we are investing our energy and our heart. The search for external approval and to maintain an active social life loses importance. What really becomes valuable are true and deep relationships. Friends and family who share our history and who respect us become even more essential. At this point in life, friendships and social relationships become more selective. It's no longer about being at many events or having many friends. On the contrary, the focus becomes on who really adds something good to our lives. Instead of spending time with those who do not share our values or interests, we start to look for those who are willing to support us, to understand us, and to share quality moments. And family relationships also gain a new perspective. With the experience that life has given us, we have learned that family relationships often need to be treated with more patience and understanding. We know that it will not always be easy, but what really matters is affection, mutual support, and the effort to maintain emotional bonds. The disputes and disagreements that arise over the years become less significant when we see that deep down, what we really want is to be at peace, both with others and with ourselves. Therefore, the 70s bring a great opportunity to reevaluate the relationships we maintain and to focus only on those that really make sense to us. These deeper, more sincere relationships become sources of joy and well-being, as they offer us a safe space where we can be ourselves, without fear of judgment. As we age, our relationship with time becomes clearer and deeper. When we were younger, we often lived as if time was an inexhaustible resource. We procrastinated, we left for tomorrow what we could do today, and, many times, we put other things before what really mattered. However, when we reach the age of 70, we begin to realize that time, in fact, is a precious commodity and that we must use it wisely. With the arrival of this age, many of us begin to realize that it is not worth spending time on things that do not add to our life. Concerns about appearance, the opinions of others, or the incessant search for social status lose their importance. What really matters now is the quality of life, the pleasure of doing what we love, and the inner peace that comes from a peaceful and well-lived day. This perception of the value of time leads to a very important practice: detachment. When we are older, we have often accumulated a lot of material possessions over the years. It can be a house full of furniture, clothes that we no longer use, objects that are no longer useful, but that still occupy a physical and emotional space in our lives. Detachment is the way to free up space for what really matters. Donating or selling what we no longer use not only helps to clean up the environment, but also brings great emotional relief. By doing so, we feel that we are freeing ourselves from unnecessary burdens. In addition, detachment is not only limited to material possessions, but also applies to feelings. Throughout life, it is common to accumulate resentments and hurts. Often we hold on to these negative emotions for years, which only harms us. At the age of 70, we realize that the best thing to do is to release these feelings, forgive and move on. This brings us great peace of mind as we come to live without the weight of the past. This detachment is also reflected in our relationships. We have come to the conclusion that instead of maintaining relationships that are unhealthy or that do not add to us, we should invest our time and energy only in the relationships that really matter. This choice brings us a sense of freedom and tranquility, as we know that we are surrounded only by people who love us and who share our values. Over the years, the way we see human relationships becomes more mature and more complex. When we are younger, we are more focused on superficial relationships, based on momentary interests, appearance, and convenience. As we get older, we begin to better understand what makes a true friendship or a healthy relationship. Life experience teaches us to give more value to those people who are genuine, who show loyalty, respect, and who in fact care about us. At the age of 70, we have often gone through countless experiences that have helped us identify the people who are really worthwhile in our lives. Friendships and relationships that remain strong over time are the ones that survive hardship and change. They are based on mutual understanding, constant support, and the ability to be there in good times and bad. This experience makes us more selective in our choices of friendships and relationships. We know that we don't need many friends, but true friends who understand our limitations, who are willing to support us without demanding anything in return. Over the years, we have learned to be more selective about the people we relate to, as we know that every minute of our life is valuable and deserves to be shared with those who really matter. In addition, this maturity also helps us to see people more empathetically. We are more understanding of the failures of others and more willing to give space for others to make mistakes as well. This doesn't mean that we should tolerate harmful behavior, but rather that we know that life is made up of ups and downs and that the people around us are facing their own battles. Therefore, human relationships become richer, deeper, and more meaningful as we age. Superficiality gives way to depth, and quantity is replaced by the quality of relationships. At the age of 70, the world around us is constantly changing. Communication, for example, has gone from letters and phone calls to emails, instant messages, and social networks. For many older people, this change may seem challenging, but it also brings new opportunities for connection. The use of technology can be an excellent means to stay in touch with friends and family, especially when they live far away. Video conferences, for example, allow us to see and talk to our loved ones, which would have been unthinkable before. However, for many of us, digital communication is no substitute for physical contact, that tight hug, or face-to-face conversation. Direct interaction, where we can hear the voice and see the facial expressions of the other person, continues to be richer and more satisfying. New technologies, while useful, often fail to convey the genuine emotion of a personal conversation. The key, then, is to balance the use of technology with traditional forms of communication. We can take advantage of modern tools such as social networks and messaging apps, but without letting them become the only way to communicate. For many older people, it is essential to continue having physical contact with friends and family, participating in face-to-face meetings, and not limiting themselves to screens. In addition, the advancement of technology also brings challenges, such as the need to learn how to use devices such as smartphones and computers. But at the same time, it offers new ways to access information, learn new things, and stay up to date with what's going on in the world. Therefore, it is important to strike a balance between the digital and real worlds without losing the value of genuine communication and human contact. And now, are you ready to transform the way you see time, relationships, and even your own happiness? If this video made you reflect on the importance of living more fully, subscribe to our channel. Don't miss any more content that can help make this stage of life the best of all. Click the sign up button now